CO testing. How much parts per million is allowed? Some of the effects of CO poisoning can mimic the signs of a good night out, or it could be carbon monoxide poisoning. These include headaches, nausea, breathlessness, total collapse, dizziness, and loss of consciousness. This chart is from the NFPA code, and it shows the levels of carbon monoxide. You notice that 5 to 35 parts per million is normal, 5 parts per million being a normal level in an average home, 5 to 15 an acceptable level near the furnace, and a 35 parts per million at the workplace for an 8-hour average. Then we move into 100 to 200 parts per million, and this is usually the level where major manufacturers will tell you that you need to open the furnace and find out what's going on, what the cause is. Over this, in the 400 to 12,000 range, 3-hour exposure may be fatal for 400 parts per million. 800 parts per million for 2 hours could be fatal. And then above that is unconsciousness and death. In order to take a CO reading on a gas furnace, you need to drill a hole in the vent pipe approximately 12 inches from the inducer outlet. Drill the hole large enough for the testing probe that you are using to insert inside it. Once you have the hole drilled in the vent pipe, insert the CO sensing probe into the hole approximately 12 inches from the inducer outlet. Once you have inserted the probe into the vent pipe, the typical readings on a CO analyzer will be the oxygen level, the parts per million of CO, percent of carbon dioxide, the temperature of the flue gas, and the furnace efficiency will be calculated. Once your testing is complete, you want to make sure that you seal the test hole properly. There are a couple of ways you can do this. One is by putting silver tape over the hole to make sure that it is sealed correctly. Some people prefer to put a hose clamp over the tape to make sure that it will not come loose. And then there are also PVC plugs that can be purchased to plug the hole. The main purpose of this video is to point out the levels of CO that are allowed in a space. On your combustion analyzer, you'll notice the parts per million is read out on the display. Most major manufacturers state that anything over 100 to 200 parts per million is cause for concern, and further investigation is needed to determine the cause. Most of your combustion analyzers will print out a test report, and it is very important that you record your findings and keep them for your files and your reports in case there are any problems down the road. It is a good idea to cover yourself in this manner for any liability issues that may arise from a leaking heat exchanger or high CO parts per million in a dwelling.
Go to arefco.com for more videos. Like, subscribe, and check back every week for new videos.